in a second. Today's uh topic is grown or just grown up. So
Very, very interesting topic
yeah, but it's definitely something that is definitely needed to talk about.
for sure.
Um and so we're gonna talk about it today, y'all. We're gonna talk about it with y'all. So glad that everybody was, able to join in who's watching. Um Feel free to comment if you comment on the show. If you look in the post itself, there is a poll, so feel free to take that poll.
Please.
Uh, we got a lot of things going on today. This is a special Friday, and we're gonna go ahead and open up the
Wait, why is it a
scene.
special Friday?
Well, because we're talking about this topic,
Uh-huh.
right? It's another full circle Friday, and we got family on the line. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying? So, I mean, every day's a special day, but today's a special Friday.
absolutely.
And we got clients. It's just booking like back to back. It's going crazy.
So
So
thankful.
we're going into four. Yep, that's it. And we're gonna go ahead and okay, well we got some well, that'll work. Not too sure on if we got any other guests that's gonna pop in there, but it looks like we have all right, we got Lori on the line and Jackie on the line. So
Hey, Lori. Hey, Jackie. That's my mother-in-law
Hey.
and my auntie.
yeah, so we got family on the line, but to everybody else, I don't want to just be saying, "Hey, mom," and we got people that's watching. So we got Jackie and we got Lori on the line. If anybody else wants to chime in, we can go ahead and pull those in. But for right now, it looks like it's just us four. Let's see if we could do nice.
Got it.
Okay.
Just checking in
Okay,
and
yeah, yeah,
so I can
yeah.
keep on top of the comments too.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. We should see that right up there as well, but thank you for pulling that up. Let's try three person. Yeah, let's see what we got up there when you do that. Three in Maine.
Did we lose somebody out of
It
the
just I don't know what we just did, but there we go. And see if we can pull. Nah. All right, well we'll go back to four. All right. And just pull mama up top if you could. Can you
Yeah, because it
you know
keeps
how to do
muting
that?
me.
It's gonna mute you if someone else is talking.
Yeah. So what
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
do, Mimi, not from there. No, you don't wanna unlock it. There should be in the camera switcher over here. Pull up the camera switcher. It's actually behind, it's to your left on the screen. Here, you want to hand me the mic real quick and then I'll give it back to you. So let's see if I could. We're navigating at the same time. If you're in the chat, see what's up. Give a shout out or something.
Who we have in the chat?
I don't know. We got one watching somebody, or maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's this right here. We're gonna go to the interview.
Ain't that big.
Okay. We're gonna go to the camera switcher. See if I could do it here. We're gonna get started with the show here in a second. Camera switcher. All right. And looks like we can bring maybe we can do it this way. What is this one? What does that say right there? We do it all, y'all. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. You gotta keep it going. Uh,
I just lost.
what's that one? Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So that would be three, and this would be. You see how I did that? Mm. And then this would be okay.
Got it.
Yep, there we go. So we got that, and just get it so we can see it. All right. So today's topic is grown or just grown up. right?
Mm.
Welcome everybody to Full Circle Friday. I'm Claude. This is my beautiful wife Aisha. Um, and we're just we wanted to discuss this topic simply because, and oh, hey, there we go. Cousin Mel's in the chat.
Hey,
What's up,
cousin
cuz?
Mel.
Big shout out. Okay, so we just wanted to introduce this topic here because number of reasons, right? Um, one is if you're young and you're just say a teenager and you're pregnant right now, we want to highlight that part. And also for the adults who are parents, um, when do you really consider your child as being an adult? Now, I know for me, when I was about and I got mama on here so she can definitely give her point of view to it all, but when I was about 16, 17, boy did I think I was grown. Oh, I just knew I was grown. I wanted my freedom. um couldn't nobody tell me anything. I just felt I knew it all as a young man, and smelling myself. You going through those stages of high school, you're going through those stages of growing up, and I thought I was grown then. Joined the Marine Corps at 21, realized that I wasn't grown once you step off that bus and you got these people all yelling in your face. They break you down, make you feel, they don't care how old you are, break you down, make you feel like a child all over again. They strip everything from you.
Mm.
Um Throughout that process as in the Marine Corps and traveling the world, I had a sense of freedom, but I didn't realize what it took to actually be responsible enough to pay bills, to build credit. I didn't know what credit was. I didn't have any financial uh education. So I was still learning. Um
But you thought you was grown though.
I did when I was young, but I didn't realize until like my mid 30s that I wasn't grown yet. I'm gonna say mid 20, I'm gonna say 26, 27 is when it really hit me. When it was just like, okay, you got some growing to do. I thought I was doing things right, but I knew right then I didn't have my things together.
So that was kind of a year or two into our relationship, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
actually, yes, it was.
Okay.
And that's because at that point I had gained a sense of responsibility. It was no longer just myself.
Mm-hmm.
We had our oldest at the time, which I came into a ready-made family,
Right.
but I was accepting the part of being a dad, and I had no clue what I was doing, but I just knew what I wanted to, what I wanted to, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to
B.
be
Who
as a
you
as a
wanted to
yeah,
be.
who I wanted to be as far as a dad and a
Okay.
and a loving partner. Even then there was a lot I was still learning. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask you, babe. I want to know for on your from your point of view, your perspective. When did you think you were grown?
I think that I was grown probably about 22, 23.
Talking to the mic about 22,
Yeah,
23.
22, 23. And what happened for me in my life is I got pregnant.
So once you got pregnant, you was like, I'm grown now.
Oh, oh crap. It's time to take care of my business.
So since we got guests on the line, let's ask the guests. So starting with you, Jackie, when did you think that you were grown? Like at what point in
Just
time
like
did you was
you,
like I was grown?
16,
About 16,
16,
you thought you were grown.
yeah,
And what
yeah,
what made you think of that? What made you come to that realization at 16?
just got tired of mom and dad telling me what to do.
Mhm.
You just wanted some freedom.
Oh, I'm sorry,
And
Claude. Go ahead, mama.
and and going with dating your daddy at that age. And I learned my lesson when Barbara put me out at the age of 16. Um, then, got pregnant at the age of 18. And from then on, it was tough
Mm.
because I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah, don't
You
come
know,
out with
got married,
instructions.
got married, no clue at all what I was doing, but it all came out good. I got two beautiful, handsome sons out the deal
Well, thank you. I'll
Yeah.
take it. I'll
and
take
some
it. Receive.
daughter-in-laws
Receive.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
grandbaby.
Yep.
So, Lori, what about yourself? When was it that you said, "Oh, you know what? I'm grown." Hey, Mimi, look at the screen. See if you could fix that for me. If you got a lock or unlock, it kind of looks kind of the boxes. The guest six and T Lori's. It looks a little higher than Mama's. Make sure that that's even out. But go ahead, Lori. I'm sorry. Go ahead. When did you uh realize that you were, or when did you think you were grown?
I was gonna say when I think I was grown and when I realized I was grown, that's two
Yeah,
different
that's what
things.
I'm saying. That's
I
why I want to
always,
go ahead and think part.
I guess I thought I was grown like around the time I was getting out of high school, because I think everybody think I'm done with school. I'm eight. Well, I was done with school before I was 18, but graduating from high school and that time, you think, all right, now it's time I can make my own decisions. I ain't in high school no more. You might have a little job or something or
Mhm.
whatever. So and then I had I had a little boyfriend and I just thought, y'all can't tell me what to do no more. In a
Right.
way. Cause like with my mom, y'all know she was kind of not strict, but kind of wanted to not control. I don't even know how to word it, but she wanted
I
me to
know.
go one way. Let's just say she wanted me to go one way, like with the Jehovah Witness route. And I wasn't trying to at that time. I was like, I'm grown, I can make my own decisions. I got this boyfriend. Thank you. And whatever. So then, daddy on the other hand he laid back, he like whatever, kind of like. And so I thought that. Then when I went to college, I kind of that was when I kind of realized I was grown because I had to not fend for myself because it was always mama and daddy there that if I had to, I could go to, but I was trying to do it on my own, like working
Mhm.
these jobs, paying my rent, doing that. So, and I guess I still thought I was grown, but wasn't always grown because I could still pick up that phone. And I still was, when I went home, I was going to their house, not mine. It was
Mhm.
still their house or whatever. So I guess when I was really, really for real grown was when I bought my own house, I guess. And everything was on me. And I was I in my 30s? I was probably in my 30s by that time. And I was like, dang, this is this is grown right here. Like all these stuff. You
This is
know
the
what I'm
grown grown.
saying?
This is the real grown.
Real
This
Right.
grown
grown
up
right
stuff.
here. Now, all of these bills, all of these property that I gotta manage and all of that. So that was, I was grown really before then, but when you got that type of responsibility, that's grown, right? For real. Because
Yeah.
rent and all of that stuff that's grown, but that's different a
Mm.
little bit to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna go back and
agree.
say real quick that I thought I was grown um leaving high school, going into college. That's when I thought I was grown, and
That
I was
it'll
really
get you.
grown at 20, 22. I
Yeah.
was really grown.
So that part to get you. Either having kids, right? Or just going, transitioning out of this school phase and going
Yeah.
into college or going into the military or, getting away from home. Sometimes you can think, oh yeah, I'm grown. But I guess and this question is gonna go around one more time as far as when you thought you were grown, and then when you realized you were grown. So, Mom, you thought you were grown at 16. When did you actually realize you were grown? Like
when I
this
was
is serious.
when I was 18
When you had
18.
Tony, I
and
mean, when you had your first kid.
got married first and then
Oh,
had Tony.
actually,
Okay.
okay, after
And then
being
2
married.
years later, but to be honest, I don't feel like I'm grown now. I'm still learning.
Well,
Okay,
you're always going to learn. And that's the beautiful part of life
growth and
and
life.
growth.
Yes, you
Yeah.
got it.
You're
It's a
always going to
must.
learn. So that doesn't make you not grown. But I think
Yeah.
Claude's going somewhere with this. So go ahead.
And T Lord, you said so around 30 or whenever you got your own home. So that was before your firstborn, but
Right,
whenever you got yourself established and said, well, you know what? I got responsibilities, these crazy responsibilities. Right.
Well, I
right.
would say
Okay.
18 for me.
You said what? Mama, I didn't hear you.
18 for me.
18.
About 18. Oh, okay.
Mine was
Okay.
23, 22, 23. And yours was
Mine was, yeah, I was like
27.
27, 26,
We got married at
27.
28. I
Yeah.
was 28. You was 29. Yeah.
Yeah. So mine was around the time where it was just really that transition of having that responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that'll get you. Yeah, like you said.
it will. And I know we got a lot of, listeners out there of people who will watch this, and maybe you guys are a little bit younger at the time or older, but I'd like you to just, place in the comments whenever you felt like you were those two things, whether felt like you were grown, or
Hmm.
and then had that realization that, oh, okay, this is what grown is. And is being grown the same as being grown up?
No.
Okay. So
I don't think so
I don't know,
either.
how would one define I cuz we grow all the time,
Right.
should as people, but for someone to say yes, this is a grown up. I mean, growing up, and you can, that's age, that's over time. But as far as just being grown, to say I am, when we define the word grown as far as being responsible, having that responsibility. Actually, the word adult, when we say are we, adults, um, an adult to me, well, to define it, is it just turning 18? In America, we say, once you're 18, you're an adult. But across the world, it's looked at maybe a little bit different. How do you feel we should look at it? And that's a question to, everyone on the panel right now. How do we feel we should look at it? Um, as far as being adult, is it just 18, or is it something beyond just that age? Because I mean, even 18 still has the word teen in it.
Right.
So
Mhm. So that's I guess society standards is when you're 18, you're an adult. And I mean, and then depending on what grown is, because grown is kind of a maybe just like a slang word or whatever that we use. But really, though, I mean, not as how we use it in context that we use it. I guess what I should say. But the age doesn't make it. It kind of is. I don't know because you say 18 is grown, but like you said, teen is still in there, and
Hmm.
kids are most of the time kids are still in school when they're 18,
I would.
and so that ain't being an adult at all. I mean,
Right.
grown, or so
Let's get the first comment
that
over.
could be a sticky that because even in my house, my son just turned 18, and on one hand, you be like, boy, go ahead, you grown now, don't ask me for nothing. And then on the other hand,
You're like,
you
wait a
still
minute.
in my house and you ain't paid no bills and you this, that. You ain't grown.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Let's get the first
what is the definition? Shit, I don't know.
I think with
That's the first.
having a adult, right? And now having another adult, 18-year-old at least. I think that being 18 should I know it's viewed as being an adult, but it should be just to give them a little bit more responsibility, right? And they can be responsible more in society for things, right? Versus saying, go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes parents say, "Oh, you know what? You grown, get on out of here." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes parents do. They push the kids out and say, "Well, you grown. Go, experience the world." So that does happen. Melody said that she pop it up there one more time, Maya, the first one. That she felt she was grown. Let's see, felt
Oh,
like I was grown my second year of college. Uh is that I was off campus paying my own bills. So no, I feel you on
yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
once you hit college and you paying your own bills, that definitely could make you feel, hey, I have this sense of responsibility, so I'm grown. What was the next one, Maya?
I'm trying to think and
Um,
see that.
it's hard. I was hoping that she was able to throw those up there when when she saw them. Okay. But I mean, I wasn't prepared for 'em. Are y'all able to see
She
the
says,
live
Jackie
comments?
has a point. I literally tried to,
Yeah, it has a timer on there that's
gotta
set,
hit
and
it
if
again.
Maya don't click it again, it's gonna go away.
I can't see it. It's
Uh,
too
Oh, it's
small.
just saying she was
I
typing
literally,
on her
Me
computer.
either, Lord.
it says,
Huh?
Um,
Not even with glasses, I can't see it.
yeah, we'll
I can
try
see
to
now.
read that out for y'all as they pop up, as we get more comments coming through. But thanks, Mel, for the input
thank you,
there.
Mel.
Um, so
I
turning
love
eight,
you.
turning 18, having a baby, or something else. So we mentioned going to college. We mentioned um, uh, getting married. All of that stuff will make you grow up,
Yeah.
but I don't really, I can't really say that that's actually grown either, right? Um, so the definition, as I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
adult is a person who is fully grown or developed, and that's the same definition that they would have for an animal.
Hmm.
One that is fully developed. Um, so when having a baby, it, like I say, it does give you that responsibility. When turning 18, it can consider in different cultures, as especially in America, as you're an adult. Uh, but oh, thanks. um, but different legal ages pop in. They say, well, you're adult at 18, you're 21, you can drink.
Right.
Um, you can smoke at 18. It's all of
21 now,
these.
huh?
I don't know. It's all of these different changes, and it all depends on, of course, where you're located. Across the world, it's a little bit different, but it took me, I would say, some years to realize that, of course, just because I'm financially independent or I have bills, that I still, I wasn't grown. Do you think 18 is realistic though for?
Was it that you wasn't grown or you needed more growth?
I definitely.
Or did you stop growing, I should say?
No, never
Right.
never stop
Okay.
growing. I feel like, mentally always, but as far as being able to say, um, I'm not going back home.
Oh,
I don't feel like I have to go back home to mom. And I don't think that is a marker of if you're grown or
I
not. I
understand
mean,
that.
because you could be whatever age and still have to go back home.
Right.
Um, I just felt as the independent way of saying I am flying out of this nest and not returning,
Mhm.
um, made me to say, okay, I'm grown, right?
Gotcha.
Like Lori said, when you got your own house and you got your bills and stuff like that, you have that sense of, I'm grown.
Mhm.
I returned back home at 27, 28, 26, 27 around that time.
Mhm.
Just trying to figure life out, still figuring life out. they say that your brain is not fully developed until what, 25, 25,
25.
26.
Mhm. That's what
25.
they say.
I can guarantee my brain wasn't developed until 30. Somewhere
You
around
got
there.
that from me.
It took a while as far as that part. Uh let's see.
And on
Um
that note, emotionally, some people are never emotionally an adult because you could be however old and still think like a kid or act
Mhm.
like a kid or whatever for whatever reasons that happened in your life or whatever. So that's another aspect of emotionally or becoming an adult or
Yeah.
grown or whatever.
that is so
That
true.
is a great point.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yep.
So, as parents, and we have two adults now, one young adult, one adult, and one that before you know it will be an adult.
We'll be empty
Uh,
nesters,
as
y'all.
parents, what do we um how would we suggest, or what would be a good way to
Mm.
prepare a kid going into adulthood? Like, what are some of the things that you guys think that is very important for um a kid or teenager, I should say, moving into adulthood? What are some of the ways we could prepare them? Any ideas from the parents on the panel? Anybody?
Financial education. The
Okay.
best, what you learn, teach them or continue to seek out other information. Because we're continuously learning about financial stuff. And I think what we get, try to share with them if they're willing to accept it, you know.
Anybody else?
And that's the thing, if they're willing to accept it, because
Oh, I know.
nowadays, this society,
Yeah.
they don't want to listen to, they think we don't know nothing for
But
real.
that's okay because you know
And
why? We've done what we were supposed to do and introduce it, right? If they don't accept
yeah, I know,
it,
but I'm
then
just saying it's stressful on our part
it
because,
is.
I mean, and we all went through this because I think every kid always think they know more than their parent or whatever the case may be. But to me, it just seemed like this generation is on some another level of that. And I don't know, it's probably society, it's probably the internet type of thing and all of that type of stuff. But this generation, I just feel like it's different.
So much has
Different.
changed since I was in high school. I remember some of the classes that they taught. I remember them teaching how to actually write a check,
Right.
um,
That's no longer
Yeah,
needed.
home,
how to
home
balance
economics.
a checkbook. Uh, but a lot of those things that was just taught even when I was in high school. I mean, I don't write checks,
I
when
write checks
I
sometimes with
mean,
a business
that's
swipe and
different
stuff
to
like
the
that.
business, but I'm just saying, like, if anything, I'm swiping a card or I'm tapping a, card or phone or whatever.
But
So
but the basics of account does not change, right? Credits and debits,
I don't know
right? That
because the
doesn't
basics of math has changed.
not the basics of math, how they do,
How
how
they
they
get
they
the
still get the
answer.
same answer, but it's just how they work the problems
It's
out has
weird.
changed, which
It's
is crazy. But it has.
it definitely has.
Yeah.
A lot of that has changed.
Well, we
Um,
got T. Lori is like in that industry where she knows that, how math works and things like that. And so,
we got it back.
mm,
Okay.
what happened? We
No,
lost
she
her.
back.
Okay.
It's all good. It's gonna
I'm
pop in and
back. I
out
had
again.
to charge it up.
Okay. It's all good. Thanks for coming back. Um, so
So
what
anybody else? Yeah.
okay,
Anybody else?
Can, I want to ask a question. This got a little
sure,
bit to do with the subject.
sure.
If you're like teenagers, say Amaya,
Mm-hmm.
y'all have a discussion or maybe a little argument here and there, and she says to you, I might not be as old as you, but I'm as grown as you. How do you answer that?
Keep living.
That's what we tell them. Literally, that's what we tell them.
Yeah.
We
That's a
tell them
good
if
one.
they come at us. kind of cricket on the road, but
Yeah,
like, hey,
you'll
just keep
see.
living.
Keep living because you'll see.
You'll
You'll
see.
you'll see as time goes on what grown really means, and you'll see as time goes on the things that we tell you, you'll experience it eventually. Maybe when you have your own kids, or maybe when you get to a certain age, if God is willing and you know are able to live that long, you will see it. So keep living.
I will say this as a parent, sometimes even me and my mother sometimes may not, I may see a different route to do the situation that she's telling me to do, right? Um, and I get it. She's older. She's been here longer. She has experienced life longer than me, and I respect that. Um, but sometimes I don't do it, still don't do it that way. So I'm,
With with age should come wisdom, but that's not always the case either.
and that's the thing.
No, it's not.
That's the
Trust
that's
me.
the thing.
Yeah, and with age should come education, but that's not always the thing either. Our younger generation does have access to a lot of information. It's
Yes.
how they use that information is what matters the most. Because yeah, you can be 18 and consider yourself grown and not know a damn thing.
Right.
You know, or you can be 35, consider yourself grown and still not know a damn thing.
Right. Right.
So
Or 51.
same, yeah. So, all of that is all of that matters. The thing is so what I would like to know is what do you wish you knew at 18? Like what if you could go back to your old 18-year-old self and say, tell
Mm.
yourself something, what is it that you wish that you known at 18? And what is it that you're trying to teach your own kids like right now?
That's a good
Mm.
question.
I'm stumped.
I would say, oh, I would say I was taught this, but wasn't shown it all the time. Right. So I had mixed
Mhm.
pictures of it in my mind, and that was kindness. Kindness
Mm,
and respect for others. Right.
Mhm.
Because that can take you a long way, just those two.
mm,
So to teach my younger self is to be kind and understand that people are who they are
mhm.
and you can't change them. And you don't have any say over anyone else but yourself. And understand your choices are your choices. You have made them, and only you can make a different choice. So that would be what I would tell my younger self. Like, understand that.
What would you tell your younger self, Jackie, if you can go back to when
To
you were
trust,
18?
to trust in God. I wish I had a went a
Mm,
different route. It was until I got like 30s, 40, somewhere around there that I really started trusting in God.
Mom, I was
And
40.
mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
What
and my
about you?
mom, being a Jehovah Witness, she instilled all of that in us.
Hmm.
But what changed my mind is when she had Lori, and she almost passed away. See, I can't talk now.
It's okay.
I get
It's
so
all right.
emotional.
Look, don't start. I'm at work. I can't be sitting up in here crying.
What about you, Lord?
Big hugs and kisses.
Yeah. What about you, Lord? What
Um,
would you go back and
I,
tell your
you know what? I don't
18-year-old
know.
self?
That's a question I always think about that people, because a lot of times you hear that. What would you? I heard that thing earlier today on the radio. What
Wow.
would you tell your younger self? And right, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to really think about that.
And what are you trying to teach your kids now? I mean, your own kid now, at that age, coming up into that age, being about to be, what would you want them to know? For me, I would want to tell my 18-year-old self,
Mm.
you don't know jack yet. You don't know
Right.
nothing. You don't know a damn thing. Hey, look, you'll figure it
Well,
out, but
yeah,
you don't know it right now. Trust me.
right. Well,
And
I
that's
guess I
what I would
guess I
tell my
would say
18-year-old self.
'cause what I find I'm telling Reed all the time is I know a little bit of something. Listen to what I'm saying. I know a little bit of something. I may not know it all, but I've been in some of your, what you're going through. I know a little bit of something. So I
Mm.
guess that's kind of like, because like I said before, you always think your parents don't know nothing. And I remember situations where daddy would tell me, he ain't never say too much, but it was this one guy that I was just so in love with. And he said a little something about him like he wasn't right. And I'm thinking, I love him. You don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Was that
So
for Reed?
that, no, no.
Hey, stop
But
pulling out them names now.
uh
Don't
right,
be
don't be
throwing out them
name
names
dropping,
now. Come on
girl.
now.
Bleep it out.
Yeah. We are live. No.
Don't be name dropping.
Right, 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 right.
But but yeah, just listen to your parent. Listen, I mean, I listen, but sometimes it was some stuff, like I said, you don't know what you're talking about, and so that would be one thing. Listen to your parent. Your parents know a little something.
Yeah, yeah, and that's basically, like I said, that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self is listen to those who have already gone down the road you're headed, because they may have some key, you know, signs, some key things to tell you for you to
Mhm.
watch out for while you travel this, this thing we call life. Um, and like I said before, I would tell my younger self, you don't know shit yet.
Mm.
Okay, you are still learning. So keep learning and take every day one day at a time. Learn every day. Learn every day. Listen to those who've gone down the path. Take your clues from them,
Yeah.
you know. But know that you don't know it all yet.
And take your time.
Take your time. And that's one of
Yeah.
the things that I want
Take
to,
your time. What's the
definitely,
rush?
definitely, tell my kids, my adults, young adults, take your time. Okay. You will learn it. It's gonna happen. Life be life. And when you think you know it and you continue to live, you'll realize you did not know it.
Right.
So just keep embracing each moment, right? How do we give our older kids that sense of responsibility without overwhelming them? See, as they get older and I'm becoming grown. I remember on the Cosby Show, what Bill Cosby did to Theo, took everything out his broom,
Yeah,
and
when he got in
made him
trouble.
made him pay rent. No,
Right.
but he was like, I think what was he using, like Monopoly money or something like
Monopoly
that or
money.
Or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He was
you
sleeping
know,
on a mattress on the floor. I never forget it.
but giving them that sense of responsibility without punishing them, I think is very important, especially when it comes to like, okay, well, here's here's your portion of the phone bill, or here's your portion of the light bill. I want you to start learning that these things cost. Because when you get in your own space, you have your own place, and without the knowledge of money going out for things that are necessities, like water, lights, whatever
Food.
bills you might have, food, things
All of
like
that.
that. It's an eye opener when you do go on your own.
What does
Um,
Amaya feel about that?
you know what? That's a great question. My thing is I haven't pushed, and we haven't pushed any type of like bills or anything. We haven't. I think that, um,
if hey.
but she does have responsibility. She has responsibilities, which entails the things that she owns, like a car note. She has a
Mhm.
car note.
Now we currently
Um,
pay just I mean, this is all public. We currently pay insurance, right? But she knows how much we pay in insurance for her. And she knows, hey, you can kick us back some money. You get an extra something, kick us back. You know what I'm saying? because it's gonna go towards her insurance. So
We,
she chimes in. So does the oldest one when she, she'll chime in and send something there, so it's like
we let them know they do have those responsibilities, but I think one of the main thing is a way to prepare them is, and I didn't know this until I was much older, is to add them to things that we're already paying off, help
right,
build their credit. Like Amaya has excellent credit right now, off of the things that we've put in place and just, the things that she's learned. And so
Stay away
that's one
from
of the
them credit cards, Mimi.
oh no, 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 no. We encourage it. We encourage it the right
Really?
way though.
right.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
to build wealth, it's important to know how to use other people's money
To get
to
money.
gain assets. It's what you do with it, what you do with the amount of money that you get in.
Also know how to pay it off, right?
Yes, because it can also build your credit.
Right.
So it's different, especially nowadays, different ways to obtain wealth. And there's different ways to learn about financial literacy. Uh, when I was coming up, I didn't know much about, credit cards. When I was able to get a credit card, I was spending it the wrong way. I was spending it on liabilities, spending it on things that wasn't bringing any money back to me, things
Right.
that I just wanted to enjoy. And I think that's one of the ways to definitely prepare your young adult is that understanding that just because you have some money don't mean you gotta blow it all. Don't mean you gotta spend it. And when you start spending it, learn what to spend it on. Learn the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that brings money in. A liability is something that takes money from you. Our house is a liability. Our house, even though we live in it and people would say it's an asset, I understand. And it took me years and over time and a lot of learning to see how much it takes from me versus how much it brings in for me. Meaning I'm not renting out any rooms. There was a point in time that we, were getting money for rooms, but it's not about that being that's part of the asset that you can have. Yes, if you are renting out a room or a location, but if it's something that costs you money continuously, then yes, it is something that is it's pulling from you. It is a liability. So I don't want to steer away from just having credit cards, but understanding that along with those credit cards come an interest rate. That is money, that is a payment that you have to pay that's made out of thin air that they come up with. It's just because they loan you some money, kind of like a loan shark. But if you can't beat them, join them. If you want to lend out some money and throw some interest rate on that month, whoever you lend it out to, make sure that they are credible and they can give you your money back.
Get a contract.
Understand the system. But also in order to grow at a faster rate, sometimes you may want those loans. And when you get that loan, if you're able to put that money in an area or a way that can accumulate more streams of income in some way, then yeah, you can pay off that loan and build off of it. It's tricky, but there's a lot of education out there online. There is a lot of different ways to use other people's money to make money and to also make a sense of freedom for yourself. And there's also a quick and easy way to get yourself in trouble by doing it the wrong way. So, uh,
Yep.
yeah, tread
All that.
lightly. What's one life skill that every young adult should have before leaving home? I say financial literacy, education. What do y'all say? What's one life skill every young adult should have before leaving home?
I agree with the financial part, of course, because but that's the major one.
It is major one.
So financial literacy, just being responsible. What else? Anything else we got?
um
I think too another one is like tr- trust, and especially in this day and age, you got to know how you have to
Discernment.
be able, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
and you gotta um I don't know, I think this what Reed's father always tell him, keep your head on a swivel, because you
Yeah.
keep know your surroundings, especially when they
Yes.
Yes.
go off, out. You give them a little, leeway to go out in the world and do their own thing, and when going to college and stuff. Keep your head on a swivel and know what's around you, because most of them they have a tunnel vision. And
especially nowadays.
Yeah.
right, they
For
got that,
sure.
they be in their own world, they be in that phone, they be whatever, and people are watching, and people be looking for a victim. And sometimes it ain't even that bad. Sometimes you just gotta, not like negative, like somebody out to get you, but you gotta know what's around you so that you
Mhm.
can know how to move in certain situations.
Yeah. And a lot of the people I hear are so slick these days, so they'll, try to get over on people any kind of way. So
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
they
different.
always been slick.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different.
Mm.
Like taking women
It's a
and things and kids with the whole putting the lacing the door handles and all this kind of stuff. So like I'm constantly sending out stuff I see on my channel is really IG. I'm sending out stuff all the time to the girls, like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. I think, which I think it would be one skill, a skill, something, self defense.
Self defense. I love it. That's definitely very important. I think that that would be great as well.
Yeah, self defense.
Keeping your head on the swivel, 100% agree with that. Self defense definitely is very
Discernment as
important.
well is a good one,
Discernment.
and financial. So that was 3 to 4. You got anything, Mama? Mel, you got anything?
Mel, you still there? um, so while we wait on any of our comments to come through, I want to ask this question as well. If you became a parent at a young age, which Bay, I know you did, and Mama, you as well. Um, if you became a parent at a young age and had to grow up fast, what helped you the most? So, what helped you when you became a parent at a young age? What was some of the things that helped you?
I think, for one, was my support team.
Okay.
That was the first thing. Second thing would be my own drive and knowing how I envision my life, and that was a real driver for me. I had already had a plan kind of set up for my education. I was out here just playing around, having a good time, and got pregnant. And I was in school, but wasn't on the track along my path. So school was kind of like the university school was like, let me go here to kind of get some freedom from my parents. And then, um, so I got on track and took care, handle my business. That's what it is.
And Jackie. So
I didn't have much help. I didn't have a
okay.
support team. Well, Tracy and Audrey had my back, but I wasn't prepared. I had to learn on my own as days went by and things like that. It was a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
but I got through it.
Yeah.
So as a parent, how do you balance letting go
We
with
didn't ask
staying
Lori.
supportive? Lori didn't have it at a young age,
Oh, okay. That's right.
right? But even though, you
Yeah.
know, when you became a parent, I guess the same question for the most part. When you became a parent, um,
Did Mel
or
chime
had
in?
to grow up fast, what helped you the most? So, what helped you once you became a parent, Lori?
There she is.
what helped me
Because
when I became a parent. Well, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, no matter at what age you have a baby, it's life changing. and
Yes.
it's a different, because I was in my mid 30s, so I was used to life a certain way and doing what I want, so I had experience and things and all of that stuff, but it still was changing because now I had this life that I was responsible for. But I did have a good, you know, support. My mom and Bird's mom, and Bird was good at. We weren't after a while. Reed was young. We broke up, so we weren't together. We weren't in the same. So he was there to support and all of that stuff. So
So you
it was a little
surrounded.
different, but
Got
not.
you. And for the parents who have been the supporting side on the supporting side, how do you balance letting go with staying supportive?
What
Once
do you
you get your young adult who is now getting into that I'm an adult phase, how do you balance that? What do you say? Okay, um, you grown. So all this time I've been just doing whatever, helping, whatever. When do you, as a parent, um, when do you stop providing that support, or do you ever stop providing that support?
Never, never stop. For me,
you? Um,
I mean, but you don't pay my bills.
no, but I still support you in everything you do.
I appreciate that. That is true.
I
That is a
think,
fact.
I think,
But I mean, as far as
yeah. What support are you talking about?
well, as far as those who are grown and want to do grown up things, when do you say, um, these are the bills that you've made and they're yours? Or when do you say, if it was up to me,
Mhm.
just flow money flowing in, right?
He
If
would
it's up to
always pay
me,
their bills.
always,
He would always
always
pay it. Any bill they had,
give
he
it to
pay
me.
it.
Give it to me. I got it.
I would be
But
the one be like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
but yeah, but that doesn't. I don't think that really prepares them
Correct.
to be grown. And that is a big issue with me. And maybe, same thing with you, mama, is you say, I mean, I'm always going to support my kids, but to be able to just pull back and say, okay, you got it. So when I speak of having that balance, like, how do you balance letting go? I struggle with that because I don't want my kids or young adults or adults or whatever to ever struggle for anything or want for anything. I would love for them to have everything that they want, but I also want to be able to teach them if it's something that you want, it's important that you learn how to obtain it
Mhm.
in the correct manner. Um
But you know what I think
versus
is even more important,
go ahead.
not even the money side of it and I is letting go and making when they make not saving them all the time when they do mess up or when they do
That's
think that
tough.
they're grown and they're doing, I think that's more important besides the money side of it. That's included, but a lot of times you have to. I know a lot of people, and even me still, I'm trying to, save them from this or save them from that. But sometimes they gotta get hit upside the head and
Oh,
learn that,
mm,
hey, it's rough out here, and
yeah,
you make these decisions, and you gotta suffer these consequences, or not all. It's not always suffering, but you gotta deal with it.
right.
And so you go out here and, uh, you know, sometimes because everybody want to jump in and and then sometimes when you have the and I say this because I don't have any grandkids right now, hopefully for a long time. But when you are, you have your kids and they're young and they have kids, and a lot of these grandparents jump in there like they're the parent and they're parenting their kid and their grandkid. And you got to let these kids learn how to be a parent. you can't always say this. You made this decision of being a parent, and now you got a parent, and then but they still want to go out here and live their life and do all of that. And so I see that a lot, and I just pray that whenever, if I ever become a grandparent, I don't try to, take over and control my my kid from being a parent. Because
I
I mean,
know.
they
I know.
say when you become a grandparent, it's a totally different thing. I don't know, but
Yes, it's
It is.
I see it.
yes. It's different. It is
So
something
that's
special.
another thing
Yes.
and especially when they're young. When they're young, you just jump in there like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Give me that baby. You don't know what you're doing, but how they gonna learn?
I exactly. And I've been there with my daughter was younger when she had our grandbaby, and I think I come from a very overbearing situation to where uh, my parent was very strong and wanted to raise my daughter the way she wanted to raise my daughter. And I'm like, no, that's mine. You know what I'm saying? So she did help and
Mhm.
she was amazing at helping. But there was a lot of things that I had to intervene in, right? So in saying that, when our daughter had our grandbaby, I was able to step back, and at first, I was not. Like, at first, I was probably trying to help way more than I should have, and then I was like, "Oh, step back, let her do it." And she's done an
Mhm.
amazing job, you know what I'm saying? I'm always here if she needs me. Um, but I want to go back to Claude's question. I think that is a situation where you have to play each kid separately, like, because every kid's different, and then their needs
Mhm.
for guidance is different. So I think we have to just, you know, take it step by step with that. But yeah, I think
Also, I think too, as parents, when I was saying before that, we think our parents don't know much and all of that stuff. But then on the flip side, as a parent, we look at our kids like they don't know nothing. Let me go on and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know, like I know. And so it goes both ways now
both
that I
ways.
think
Yeah.
about it, because I know at certain times where I'm like, let me do this because we don't know what he's doing or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't gonna do it the way I would do it. That's another thing that
Mm.
Mhm.
we as parents have to, because he ain't gonna do it right, or he ain't gonna do it. My way might not be the right way, or it might not be
Right.
his way. But in my
Mhm.
mind, I'm thinking, or I go back and forth with him about you should do it like this, and he looking like, Ma, I got this. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta
Mhm.
let him have it. Like I gotta step back and be like, okay, go ahead. And then, it might turn out right and it might not, but he gotta go ahead and do it his way, you know, and
Yeah.
learn from it.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Well,
very
I
important.
try not to interfere with my children's bringing up their children. I didn't tell them. I don't remember telling you guys, don't do this, don't do that, because I felt this is your daughter,
Yeah. You didn't.
and you raise your child the way you want to raise them. So I try not to interfere with stuff like that.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
ask me, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. But other than that,
Right.
I really didn't get in. I tried not to get into your business the way you were raising your children.
And I appreciate that. We got some comments from Mel real quick. We just want to throw those up there. And Mel said, in a nutshell, even though there are times I still need my mom's support, I believe she left me with amazing knowledge. And I love that I have continued to use it as I navigate it. If you can put it back up there, I can continue reading. Let me read it. You can read it for
That's
me.
okay, mom.
Yeah. And love that I have continued to use it as I navigated motherhood still. Great. And then
Right.
she also said, live and learn. And that is facts. Thanks,
That's
Mel.
it.
That is facts.
Keep
Got it
living.
now.
Yes, yes, yes. So,
And you're
and
raising an amazing daughter
yes,
yourself.
yes,
Good
yes. So
job.
definitely,
Good job, T. Lori. Good job, mama.
we just is I think it's important to know that we see that they are getting it. We won't know
Mm.
if they got it until, as time goes on.
They got to keep
But
living
that's it. That's the main thing. You live and you learn. Got to keep living.
and give them some grace, right? Give all of them some grace because it's not going to be when we want it, how we do it. They're going to do it different, just like you said, T. So I think that giving them grace and just respecting them as human beings. Sometimes emotions may come up and people may think that, you're not respecting them, but you are. You are respecting them. So just keep respecting them and treating them as adults. They are
I
grown-ish.
should have I should have made Reed, well, not made. I should have asked Reed to get on here because I would love to hear what his perspective is.
Maya, what's
Yeah.
yours? Time in.
I would love to, definitely get our young
Are
adults
you
perspective
grown
and
or
all.
grown up?
We probably, you know what I think. Oh, look, I think
Oh,
it
Go
would be
ahead.
a
Let's
talk
good,
to
come
me.
on.
This
Come
is
on.
what it's here
I
for.
think it would be a good thing to get well, it's because I guess it's only our family on here right now, to get all of the younger
Kids on.
adults in our family on one of these podcasts and let them, and we sit back and just listen.
I
I'm all
love
You
it.
for
know,
it.
I'm all for it.
I'm all
I
for it.
would
Let's get them
enjoy
all.
that.
Let's ask
hmm
all the cousins with kids to come on. I'll get my sister on, get my niece on.
Aisha
Yeah.
mentioned the
Well,
word.
I shared your link with quite a few people,
Oh,
Helene,
great.
and then you
Cool.
got cousins in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
that you met a while
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
went
yeah.
with mama, and I sent the link to her. So I don't know if they could get it or not, but I'm trying to share it to see how, to get people into this, you know,
Yeah, no,
Conversation.
that's
live
all
club.
good. And it's greatly appreciated. Of
Thank you.
course, as we grow and the community grows, I mean, you'll see several people on here that that you may not know, because we're getting a lot of people involved in this, the whole live. But as you see, even this morning, we had some technical difficulties, so we're still building the team. It's still a work in progress. So as we grow, I'd like to see these different slots filled up.
How many people can
And
you put in a room at a time?
total 8. We're
Okay.
maxing out at 8 right now. We can accept about 20 total, but until we're able to really navigate through everybody, mics and all of that, and recording, because all of this is also recorded at the same time. So if anything crazy happens during the live, it can be edited if we choose to, put it out in a different format. But we're maxing out at 8.
Okay.
Yeah. But going back
hmm
to what you said, you mentioned the word grace, and this word has been coming to me a lot.
Mhm.
Um, when you define the word grace, it means acceptance. And there's just some things that I can accept and some things that I just cannot accept. So I
Yeah.
agree with you on giving, you know, um, our young adults grace and giving and accepting some things. But and like, like Lori said, sometimes you gotta let them bump their head a
Yeah.
little bit. And that's understandable. But just because I'm allowing you or letting you or watching you bump your head don't mean that I accept what it is that you're doing. Now, I will understand that you're going through life's changes. Life, this is your purpose in life is different than mine, possibly. Of course, you're a different person. I will be there for you. I will be there to help you, have an open ear, give any input that, or advice that you may ask for. But just accepting the fact of you doing certain things, and I know I didn't raise you that way. I can't, me personally. I'm with giving grace in accepting certain things, but not everything. And that's just me as a parent. Like like when I was talking about that balance before and letting go, I struggle with that. I struggle with saying, okay, you're grown. I'm gonna let you do your grown up things because I'm a warrior too. I got a bunch of girls and I worry about them, and that's my own insecurities, it's my own issues. It is. But as a dad, um, I'm only human and I'll love you to the end of time. But I just want the best for my kids as well as, anyone in my family. So, um, yeah, I can't live your life for you.
Okay, let me say this. So at the end of the day, it's not our journey, right? Because we have raised them, we raise our kids in the best way. They've got the best us version at the time. That's
That
what
we
they
could
got,
give them.
right? That we could give them. So when I say give them grace, then it's not your journey, right? You cannot accept something all day long if they still do it. You still have to allow them grace.
Allowing them and accepting is two different things. So let's clarify that. You know, I'll give them space. I can't always give you grace. I'll let God do that part. God accept that part. But me on my end, I want to give you the love as a parent. I want to give you the love and parent you, you know, not just be like, hey, you grown, go, you know. I always, I don't care how old you get. Um, I'm going to parent you. I'm going to do what I can to uh help you in any way that I can, whether it's information or whether it is not saying you got to do it how I want it done, but at any time that I could give you any guidance, that's what I'm here for.
Gotcha. We gotta be rapping.
In closing, because we will be, 'cause of course we got some clients coming through and all, but in closing, adulthood is more than just a number. It's about readiness, responsibility, and support. I want to thank everybody for sharing, for voting. If you got a chance to vote online, and also those that joined the conversation, I want to thank you. Um, I hope that you guys, can continue to continue having this conversation and discussion with your kids. Continue this conversation and discussion in the comments, in the social media. It's important that we address these. Um, it's important that we address these topics. Uh, whether you are a young, were a young parent, or have kids who might be young parents, or just have kids who may be parents someday, it's important to just try to prepare. Um, like the show says, its instructions are not included, and that's what I stand on. That's what we stand on. It's they're not there, so we have to be there to kind of provide that as a community. So I just want to thank everybody for joining the Full Circle Friday. I want to thank Jackie and Lori. I want to thank Mel for
Thank
popping
y'all.
in. Everybody else that wants to throw anything into the comments is greatly appreciated. Check us out. Remember to like and subscribe. Um, and I just want to leave y'all with this. There's no one size fits all answer, all right, to growing up. But we can still do our part to support the next generation. And that's what we're here for. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, I ask for you to like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts below in the comments. And we'll see you next week on next Friday's show. So just want to thank everybody.
Thank
And
y'all so much.
I know Lori had to walk away, but thanks again, Mom, for stopping in. It's always a pleasure to have you.
I have one more question.
Go ahead before
Okay.
we close out. You got it. You got the floor.
Birthday's coming up. Can I get some sourdough bread that you just made
But show which one you want. The s'mores.
with the marshmallows?
It was so good.
Oh, it was so
Oh my
good.
God.
It was so good.
It
I will
was.
definitely make you some. I'm gonna have to I actually get ready to make some tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll have to send you some.
no, I don't
Sounds
want to
good.
send it in the mail. I rather you mean send it in the mail to you?
You can overnight it, right?
I can.
Will it perish? I don't know how
No, it
long it
takes
takes for
It's
some.
bread.
3 to 5 days. Really, they said this is what they say. But it don't really last that long. We normally have like remnants, like at 3 to 5, like the tail
It
ends
don't
of it.
last. Would you like a whole loaf, or would you
I
like
want
us
to
to
make a
cut?
whole
You can
loaf.
make a whole loaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying you wanted to go ahead and cut it up for you and everything, kind of get it
Yeah, I'll
all.
cut it
Okay. So
and
you ain't got
clean
to
it.
deal with all that once you get it. You just
I
Man, it
mean,
was good.
I know I'm not supposed to eat it, but it looks so good.
Okay, so the thing about sourdough is they say that it affects your sugar differently because it is no, it's because how it's made, it's fermented. So it doesn't
Oh,
cause a spike in your blood sugar. And it
oh, well, send me
digests a little
some of
bit.
those again.
oh my god,
They're so good. Look, I did a
completely off
pizza
topic.
roll. Was talking about talking to Aurora the other night, last night. She was like, "It was so good." So it had like pepperoni and cheese
It
on the
was
inside. It
good.
was so good, and spaghetti sauce.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
delicious.
it was
It was
good.
so good. Well, thank y'all once
Thank y'all.
again. Maya, you ready for the third page? We're there. Go ahead
Thanks,
and
thanks,
try.
Mel
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
and
Joining in,
TT.
Mel. We're
Love
going
y'all.
to
Love y'all too.
scroll
Bye,
up, Maya.
y'all.
Bye. That's not that one. Scroll up, Maya. There you
Life doesn't come with a way to go. It doesn't come with a manual. Yeah, you can search, I swear it ain't nothing like Jay-Z, the blueprint.